darling. Peace, everyone. It is such a glorious privilege to be here, as has been said, to be in your holy heart, Father dear, and to think of how you have gathered your heart from the four corners of the earth to the mount of the house of the Lord, to this place in consciousness where we can rest in blessed assurance while the world is in turmoil and strife. Father dear, I thank you for blessing us to know how to get into your heart and how to stay in your heart. Because it is a privilege, a glorious privilege, to love God and to be God's very own. But we know there is a price to be paid. And we know that it is a straight and narrow road that leads to this celestial realm where you have predestined all of your own well. And at this time, we thank you, Father dear, to read once again these beautiful words that were read at the annual business meeting of the Nazareth Mission Church the other evening, because they're so fitting for this particular occasion. These words, Father, you spoke at a board meeting of the Nazareth Mission, a private board meeting of the Nazareth Mission Church on January 7th, 1945. And it was on a matter involving the everyday function of the various departments of the church being placed in the hands of the most qualified person. Father, you explained with the following words. Now this is kind of a close question here, and it will eventually come to everyone. I will eventually ask everyone for his heart and their heart. Your heart consists of your sincere desire, your anxiety, and your wishes, and your pleasures. That is what I brought out the other day in talking to some others in Philadelphia. If you come and will not give me your heart, if you keep it concealed, whether it is good or evil, you have not given me your heart, and you cannot expect for me to take care of your heart, and you cannot expect me to reach your condition physically, mentally, and spiritually, and otherwise. It is written, sons and daughters, give me your heart, and I will control the body. It is a common phrase quite often used in the world of religious phraseology that I say, sons and daughters, give me your heart, and I will control the body. Your heart consists of your desire, mainly your desires. You have heard me say, consciously, sincerely, privately, and publicly, prayer is the heart's sincere desire, unuttered and unexpressed. But I ask the expression of your heart as in your desires, in your anxieties, in your ideas, and in your opinions. I make this explanation because it will eventually come to all. I mentioned that point concerning the desire because the average person does not know what the heart means. And the majority of the people do not know, and they usually say, Lord, I give you my heart. But when it comes to a showdown, they are holding something back in the secrecy of the heart. They will not expose and will not even tell me, you see. Therefore, your heart consists of your mentality, and especially your anxieties, of your desires, of your fancies, of your pleasures, and your tendencies. That is why I say to those of you who claim to know me, I require you to give me every thought, every idea, and every opinion, every fancy, and every human tendency prenatal within you, if alive. If there is any prenatal fancy, tendency, or pleasure prenatal within you and handed down traditionally or hereditably, you should give it to me, because that consists of your heart. People have heart trouble, physical heart trouble, because they do not give me the mental and spiritual heart. They hold those things back in the heart, and the desire, namely, which comes from the bottom of the heart, the sincere desire of the heart, is a stressful ecstasy of something that is the control of the body through the heart, you see. So that is why I say, just give me your heart, consisting of your desires, your anxieties, your pleasures, and your simplest desire, and your tendencies, and your wishes. All of that of the mentality and of the spirituality consists of the heart, and the heart is controlled by both it and them. I mean the physical heart, the blood pump moves by it and them. It is a wonderful thought. So that is why I called for the heart. I have been asking you for many years to give me your heart, your thoughts, your ideas and your opinions, your fancies and your pleasures and your tendencies, and deny yourself and present yourselves as living sacrifices to God. And when you do that, you are giving me your heart. Then there would not be anything concealed from me personally, and I would be one with you and have all things in common with you as far as you are concerned. And the things that would be hid would be revealed, both of the external of life and also the internal things, and everything that concerns you, all things that concern you, whichever. It is a wonderful thought, and when that is done, things will work harmoniously. I have said, wheresoever a king reigns, there is where his kingdom is. Christ is enthroned on the throne of your mind, there and then, controlling and ruling you and the things that concern you. And there and then the kingdom has truly come, but not until then. If you hold an idea, an opinion, a fancy, or a pleasure, or the simplest desire, or anxiety, or wish, or want on that throne, I am not reigning if you withhold anything from me. Now this is not as an individual message, or as to an individual, but it is to the universe at large, and especially those of you who say you know I am God. It is understood, as you all have said, Christ is the head of this house. A person may not know and can put their finger on what may be the cause, but there is a cause for every defect and for every reaction of an undesirable expression. Something causes it. If you are not one in heart and mind, you may have some thought concealed and some word, deed, or action and bring about a separation and may not be conscious of it. See the mystery? So these thoughts need to be deeply considered. For when Christ in the sonship degree says, I pray that they may be one even as we are one, it was not merely a fanciful statement. It was in all sincerity and essential to be, that they should be one as much and as far as things and life are concerned, and where they can be one in the things that they do and the things they are doing, where they can justifiably be one in the things they are doing. We thank you, Father, for those beautiful, beautiful words. And we thank you, Father, for this privilege we have to give you our hearts. The things that you want them is really wonderful. Think of the long hours you spent in interviewing each and every one of us, giving us the opportunity to give you personally our hearts. And we thank you for it, Father dear, because that's what is enabling us to stand in this day. And we thank you, Father, that you are just the same today. With or without your body, you are just the same. And I know that each one of us can go to you and give you our heart. And as we take everything to you and to you alone, then you will give us your mind and your spirit. And you will lead us and guide us in the least thing and in the greatest thing. It is so wonderful, Father dear, to have you so near and so dear to us. To have you so real. And to know that you are a present help in every need. And as someone brought up today, that things happen so quickly now. We get the results so quickly. Whatever we ask you, Father dear, before we can hardly think, you have granted our wish. And as it is in the positive, so it is in the negative. But I thank you, Father, that our love for you has caused us to come out of that world where negation exists. More and more we live in the positive, and we don't have to get the reaction of negative thinking and doing. We thank you for your wonderful love that we feel and that we experience as we are conscious of you every moment of the day. And I especially thank you, Father, for the privilege that we have to gather together around your glorious body. Because in this unity, we feel your actual presence. We feel your great love for each and every one of us. And it gives us strength and courage to go on, and it just lifts and brightens our path, Father dear. We thank you for this privilege of coming together. And whatever occasion presents itself, we thank you for it, because it's just an excuse that we get together and get in this concentrated love. So it's a wonderful, wonderful blessing. So we thank you, Father, at this time to sing Sons and Daughters, Give Me Your Heart. Thank you, Father.